and get your kiss on.
Every kiss begins with K.
So my friends over at Truce hit me up and they got me this cool shirt that they're releasing sometime in the fall, I think. You know how everything happened, you know, like a couple weeks ago, how like, you know, my house was kind of robbed, so they said, hey, sorry about that, we sent you some stuff. So I was like, thank you. They're really nice, and they actually have really quality clothing, so make sure to go check them out. Truce Apparel Co. I look like a chinoko.
It's a hug, okay? It's a hug.
I acquired my first girlfriend in Japan during my freshman year of high school. Her name is Tracy. Tracy and I had a pretty fun relationship, but it was short-lived as we only lasted about a month. So this video is basically the highlights of our relationship and how it ended. The moment I asked her out near the end of the school year, we started hanging out like a lot. The first day we started dating, we went off base and went to this Japanese mall called Daie. We got ice cream at Daie, and that's where I encountered my first obstacle of being in a relationship. Can I have a lick? Where'd your ice cream go? I ate it. We just got it 30 seconds ago. How'd you eat it already? Did you get double scoops too? Tracy isn't fat, but she definitely eats like it. I was sweating, my hands were shaking. I completely forgot you have to do these things when you're in a relationship. You gotta share stuff. I haven't prepared myself in life to share my ice cream yet at this point. I was not ready. I was not ready for this. But I look at her happy face and I decided to man up. Take a lick, baby. After that moment, the realization of dating hit me. Like, you have to do a lot of things when you're in a relationship. I never thought about it. Cause after we ate our ice cream, she wanted to hold hands. Hold hands? I was not used to this kind of lifestyle. I don't know how to hold hands. I'm not a super affectionate PDA type person, and even holding hands was a little too touchy for me. So we came to a conclusion where instead of holding hands, we'd hold pinkies. I was a lot more comfortable with that for some reason. Even in school for our whole relationship, we held pinkies because I was just not ready to hold hands yet. So anyway, we leave the mall and go back on base where Tracy lived. On the military base in Japan, it's basically like a bunch of towers, pretty much apartments. All the kids from school lived in them, including Tracy. I lived off base in the actual Japanese houses, so if I ever wanted to go on base, I'd have to like take the train. So we go to Tracy's home, and Tracy's friends were actually with us too. So there I started to get to know them more, and I basically just got comfortable with everyone, and that's when I like really loosened up. Tracy proposed the idea of watching a movie, and of course it's gotta be a scary movie. Tracy's friends were chilling on one couch and I was chilling on the other, and I was laying there for a couple minutes, and then Tracy, when she sets up the movie, she just plops right on top of me. I was kind of freaked out, not gonna lie. This was our first day of dating. Were we even at the cuddling stage yet? So I was laying down awkwardly with Tracy on top of me, slightly next to me, but like just like in this area, you know, except we're vertical, horizontal. Yeah, and my arms were kind of awkward, like to the side like this. So I'm like this. Tracy takes my left hand, puts it around her, on her cantaloupe, and then takes my other hand and puts it on her stomach. The only thing I was thinking in my head at the time was, I am touching a boob right now. This was a big moment for me. I've never touched a boob before. I mean, at least not like this. I've probably brushed past a few breasts in my life, but I've never had like a straight handful of boob in my hand. It was this hand right here. Tracy was very straightforward with this stuff. I literally had no experience in these kind of things. Tracy taught me a lot throughout our relationship. So we're watching this scary movie, and I get really scared of scary movies, especially back when I was a freshman. So I'm like this, a jump scare pops up, and I flinch, clenching her breast aggressively in the act. I'm sorry. Her friends are laughing on the other couch, and I was getting really worried. Like, I heard female breasts are very sensitive. Maybe I popped it. I don't know. I didn't know what to think at the time. But she's like, it's okay. And I'm like, phew. And then I move my hand above her breast, more like here, because I'm a gentleman. I respect her body. 10 minutes later, another jump scare pops up, and I flinch. Same thing happens. I choked her. I know this whole thing sounds fake, but I'm making this video knowing Tracy is watching this. So if you're really skeptical, you can probably do some FBI stalking shit and then go find her somehow and ask her yourself. I'm sure there's ways to find her if you really want to. But I know she's watching this, so I can't lie about this. So yeah, the end of the movie rolls by, and Tracy whispers in my ear, by the way, I liked when you choked me. She wore a choker. I definitely should have seen this coming. If our relationship continued longer than it did, it would have gone kinky real quick. Movie ends, so me and Tracy's friends start heading over to the train station because we all happen to live off base. Tracy's friends walked out the door, and before I was able to, Tracy grabbed my hand and pulled me closely. We got real close, like noses touching close. She's looking up at me because I was a little taller than her, and I start laughing awkwardly. She's like, "Why are you laughing?" And I didn't really know what to say, so I just said, "A lot of things happened today that I never thought would happen." She replies, "Well, let's add another thing to that list," and kisses me. Tracy was smooth as an infant's booty hole, almost as smooth as Chuck Bass. I gotta make a Gossip Girl reference. Tracy loved that show. So we walk to the train station, and me and Tracy's friends part ways, and I go home. The next couple weeks consisted of me going to her house after school almost every day, watching Gossip Girl or The Fosters, and then Skyping when I'm at home. Over these next couple weeks, she started to get more comfortable with me. Sometimes a little too comfortable. After school one day, me and Tracy were talking in a group of friends, and she had to go, so she said goodbye and kissed me on school campus. I wasn't like ashamed to be her boyfriend or anything, but that just surprised me. I didn't think she would do that at that time and location. I was just wide-eyed, and my good friend Mana was like, "Did she just kiss you?" "Yeah." "Damn." She was Filipino, so her parents would frequently cook up some really good Filipino food. I remember eating some random Filipino dish one day, and I was like, "What is this?" Tracy and her mom makes this face like, I get a little worried. Did this just poison me? But eventually they tell me it was pork blood. I was just eating straight pork blood. Alright, good to know. Then the talent show comes around. I told you guys about auditioning for it last video. Of course I made it. But the day of the talent show rolls around, and all the performers are sitting in the front right corner of the audience, and a lot of my dance club was sitting with us because some of the dancers were performing. And most of our dance club was sitting with us since some of the dancers were performing. Were performing. This was one of the coolest feelings I've had in my entire life. It was when I was sitting there, Tracy comes over to me and says good luck and kisses me, and then goes back. And then I just remember like my whole dance club just looking at me like, God damn, okay, Kay. One thing I loved about my relationship is that I didn't really have to do anything. Like, she gave me all the love. I didn't do nothing. I just sit there and take all of her affection. That's a nice relationship. The talent show goes well. It was a really fun night. I go to Tracy's house for a little bit after the talent show, and then I go home. But while I'm on the train going home, I felt, happy. Like, life was fun. But I just had this thought in my head like, this isn't gonna last. I was only gonna be in Japan for 1 more month, like 3 weeks of school and then 2 weeks in summer, and then I'll be in Colorado. The realization hit me that this kinda had to end. So the next time we hung out, I gave her a Piglet plushie that I got at Tokyo Disneyland, so she can at least remember me somewhat. She might have thrown it away though, cause I kinda broke her heart. But I'm a pretty good boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend, cause I still have this. She gave this to me about a week into our relationship. It's a bracelet with her name on it that she got made in Tokyo, and she got one for herself that said my name. The name's on the other side, but I can't show you that, obviously. Some might call it overly attached, but I liked it. It's good to have that reassurance that your partner really likes you. Time goes by real quick, and it was already one of the last Fridays of the school year. There's this event our school does every year. I don't go to that school anymore, but they do it every year. It's basically where every grade competes in a lip sync battle, and I just said it real name. And me and Tracy participated in the freshman lip sync performance, and it was really fun.
I love you. And I do too.
After the lip sync performance, me and Tracy were supposed to hang out because I told her, but I kind of flaked. After school that day, instead of hanging out with her like I told her, instead I think I went to go eat curry with some friends off base. The reason I didn't hang out with Tracy that day was because I was kind of nervous. Like I imposed in the last video, Tracy was not innocent. She was very much experienced in the sexuals, and with the way our relationship was going, we were probably gonna end up partaking in sexual activities that day if we hung out. And I was just not ready. I couldn't I couldn't bring myself to do that yet. Because touching her cantaloupe with clothes on already made me sweat and nervous. So how am I gonna have sex or something of the sort? So I just flaked. And then the next day, it was a Saturday night, I called her and I broke up with her. Hey Tracy, you know how like the butterfly net can't really hold 2 giraffes at once? You know what I'm saying? Like, the vegetable oil won't stay on the pan forever, right? You know what I mean? Are you breaking up with me? You see, what I'm trying to say is, it was really hard to break up with her. And I don't know why I thought breaking up on the phone was a good idea. It was my first girlfriend. I didn't know that was a bad thing to do. But the past week at the time, I was just thinking in my head, like, I'm gonna be in Colorado pretty soon, and I feel like I should just end this now before I hurt her even more. That was kind of like my mentality. And then Tracy starts lip syncing to songs about exes on her Snapchat story like this. I was a little hurt, but now I understand more of what she went through. Catching feelings makes you all emotional and stuff. I never really knew about that with Tracy because, you know, it was my first girlfriend, and I never actually caught feelings for her. I thought I did. I thought I liked her because, you know, she's really kind and she's a really cool, fun, you know, pretty person. But then later in life, I actually found out the difference between just liking someone and then, you know, actually catching feelings. Like, you know, when you feel like your heart is heavy, it's like, wow, like, I really like this person. So I was never really emotional with Tracy. It was just a really fun relationship that spiced up my last 2 months in Japan. But she really taught me a lot about relationships and just all that kind of stuff. So I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, that's the story of my only relationship I've ever had. So yeah, I mean, I've had like things, but not like actual like official relationships. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to smash that like button. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a nice day, and I like liking.
I stay a star running. I think of you and my heart beats faster. But this could only end in disaster. You're like poison in my wine. Should pour it out, but I'm curious what happens when your lips meet mine.
And then boom, boom, easy. You know.